Welcome to today's webinar on the ABCs of breastfeeding, navigating the early days. Okay, so we're very much focusing on new mums and mums-to-be, and it's an informative session that will guide you through the crucial early days of breastfeeding. And we are here today with Eliza Koo of Tender Loving Milk. I do need to let you all know that this webinar is designed to give you a supportive and informative introduction to breastfeeding in the early days, but it is not designed to take the place of any healthcare advice, be that from your healthcare team or your doctors. If you have any medical concerns, you should always refer to your healthcare and medical team first and foremost. But we are here obviously to provide evidence-based, informative solutions and options for you in your parenting journey. Now, super quick, because I don't want to take up any of Eliza's time. I just want to say that most people know me, your host, Cathy Rougier, through Pregnant and Popped and the boutique baby fair for mums that happens every 6 months. And I absolutely love that part of my business. I love bringing you all together with the Pregnant and Popped partners. When I'm not doing that, I am busy being a certified postpartum and infant care doula. I am certified with Pro Doula in doing physical and emotional recovery with parents in their own home. That does include feeding support, not as expert as Eliza is about to go into. I'm more about the kind of hands-on emotional support at home. I do cover sleep essentials, getting into a nice rhythm in those early days and weeks. And I'm also there throughout the 4th and the 5th trimester going back to work. But like I say, it's all about Eliza today. So I have to introduce Eliza because she deserves a great introduction. So I hope I do you justice, Eliza. So Eliza and Tender Loving Milk have been working with Pregnant and Popped just this year, actually. Tender Loving Milk are the IBCLC lactation consultant that we have amongst us. We have a few different lactation consultants, but Eliza is the only IBCLC. IBCLC standing for International Board Certified Lactation Consultant. And you can find her in the Village chat and hopefully at future events that we'll be holding face-to-face, really hoping so. So Tender Loving Milk was founded in 2021, but I know Eliza has been helping mums since at least 2019. Obviously in and around the breastfeeding, but you also do a lot of the newborn care and all the way through to the solid introductions. And you've developed kind of a first of its kind in Singapore, where you do the breastfeeding combined with the parenting readiness workshops. It's absolutely fascinating, guys, and I urge you afterwards to look into it. And I really hope Eliza is going to cover a little bit of this, because she not only talks about the breastfeeding, but she combines it with couples relationships, family values, responsive parenting, and how that kind of combined with that 4th trimester really creates a kind of whole picture of what it's like to be a parent this day and age. So without further ado, I have lit you, Eliza. The floor is yours.
Thanks, Cathy. So just a quick introduction. I'm Eliza. I founded Tender Loving Milk. And like Cathy said, I'm an IBCLC. I know that's like a mouthful. It's International Board Certified Lactation Consultant. And I recently became a mother of 3. I gave birth 6 months ago to my youngest boy. And I love talking about breastfeeding, motherhood, and baby. So these are some of my credentials at the bottom. And just a little bit about my 3 kids. My oldest is 5, then 3 and 6 months. So for all of my 3 children, I have very different breastfeeding journeys for all of them. So can you imagine, like for one mom to have like 3 different journeys? It's a lot. So my first child, she was okay. She was breastfeeding well. I couldn't understand what's the difficulties. Like some moms like pretty like have smooth journey. But for my second baby, this is when I truly understand some difficulties around breastfeeding, around latching, around the pain that mothers feel every single day. I was crying every other week with breastfeeding my second boy, and It was during the COVID pandemic. No one could come to my house to help. So I was really helpless. And because of that very difficult start to my breastfeeding journey, I thought that no mom should go through that alone. So this is when I got the inspiration and motivation to be an IBCLC. So that my journey started from there. Um, and yeah, my boy, my youngest boy, with by then I was already an IBCLC. Then he got like, jaundice. I had like 9 days of painful nipples. And in the midst of like the postpartum chaos and everything, I couldn't really figure out what's going on. So I went to get help and realized, okay, he had a tongue tie. So it's like, oh, a lot of things going on. And even myself as an IBCLC, I needed to get help. So just want to assure you, you don't need to journey alone. There are lots and lots of help out there, as long as you know where to seek help from. Okay, and just a very quick intro on what I will talk about today: breastfeeding benefits for the pregnant moms, how to establish your breastfeeding journey, and for moms who have given birth, I want to also share with you the breastfeeding positions that is very, very comfortable for you, and I'm going to also explain why and when to seek lactation help. I have bonus at the end of the workshop, so stay tuned for that bonus. Really, really excited to share that bonus with you. But I also understand right now who is in the audience. If you can scan the QR code, or you can just type in slido.com and key in the code just to find out who do we have like more pregnant couples here, more pregnant moms here, or more moms with newborn, so I can cater my content and language a little bit more to the majority. I'll just give another 1-2 minutes. Oh, maybe just 1 minute. More pregnant. Okay, so a mix of pregnant moms and moms with newborn. I guess moms with more than 3 months postpartum, they're back to work. Okay, well, we have a good mix of moms here, and most of you are pregnant. Perfect, perfect. This is good. I have very good information for pregnant moms here. Hey, moving on. So before I start any breastfeeding presentation, I always want to share with you, what are benefits for babies? This is so important. We know like, oh, it helps baby here and there, but what are the really benefits for babies? I'm not talking about only breastfeeding. I'm talking about also breast milk, breastfeeding and breast milk. What's the benefits? So first, it protects from various illnesses and infections. I bet you hear this a lot, but one of the interesting thing is about breast milk is it takes information from your body. So even if you're not feeling well, people around you are not feeling well, they get information from your body, they increase the antibodies to be produced in your breast milk. So if you have like certain viruses, they will make the soldiers to fight for that viruses into your breast milk, so your baby, so to provide further immunity protection for your newborn. So if you are sick in any ways, you still can breastfeed your baby. You still can offer that breast milk for your baby. And next is breast milk prioritize enhancement for brain development. So there's lots of studies going on around breast milk increases certain gray or white matter in the brain that helps with cognitive and other motor skills and brain development in that sense. And it reduces risks of SIDS. SIDS happen spontaneously, and it's very rare. It's really very rare, but studies have shown that, yes, it contributes reduction risks of SIDS. Okay. And how about for the mothers? First, I want to also share with you when you gave birth to your baby and you start breastfeeding your baby, especially during the first few weeks, most of the time, you may feel some cramps in your uterus. This is what we call uterus cramping. And it's good because it helps your uterus to go back down to its normal size pre-pregnancy. So breastfeeding helps with that. And of course, it reduces risks of other illnesses and cancers. So one thing about breastfeeding is one thing about our breast is our breast cells will be fully matured once it's completed lactating. So fully matured cells have lower risks of developing cancerous cells, but of course, when we talk about cancer, it's like genetic and hereditary, but it contributes to reduction of other illnesses and cancers. And the second point I think is super important. It's because of the hormones going on with breastfeeding. I'll talk a little bit on the hormones later, which is one of my favorite topic on breastfeeding. It reduces risk of postpartum anxiety and depression because of the oxytocin hormones that kind of like increases during breastfeeding. And thirdly is of course increases maternal bonding with baby. So for my first child, when I gave birth to my baby, I kind of like felt, oh, she's a stranger. Like I don't know her. Like how like I don't have that immediate love for my first child when I gave birth to her. But with breastfeeding, that bonding did increase for me. And with every child that I gave birth. So my third one is completely different. I really felt that love, that the whole coziness. So just to really understand that even if you don't feel that bond with your newborn for the first day, it's okay. Breastfeeding does help to give you lots of opportunities to increase that maternal bonding with baby. And I always show this infographics to parents and moms to show that breast milk is essentially human milk made for human baby. This is not trashing like, oh, formula milk is bad. No, we're not. We're just sharing with you there are other factors that human milk has to offer that formula milk couldn't replicate. They have been trying to replicate for like decades, but breast milk is human milk for human baby. So even though there are like other minerals and proteins in formula, but the minerals and proteins in breast milk reacts and acts differently. So, for example, iron in breast milk is able to be absorbed 5 times more than formula milk. I know I'm going a little bit more technical here, but other hormones, like for example, leptin hormones, which contributes to appetite control, is only present in breast milk. And there are studies around like breastfed babies has lower risk of childhood obesity, for example. And yeah, so just to show you all of you, this is essentially human milk made for human baby. And also the interesting fact is breast milk is alive. Can you imagine? What do I mean by alive? So this is under a microscope, and you can see these are living stem cells. They are moving. And all these are like the white blood cells, the antibodies, the good bacteria is alive and it's moving. And this is just the difference between fresh, day old, and thawed breast milk. Essentially, if you can, you offer fresh breast milk first. Whatever it is, frozen breast milk is still superior to formula milk. So this is usually the ranking. And I just want to assure you, breast milk doesn't expire after 1 year. Even if your baby is 1 year old, your breast milk doesn't expire. It's still gonna be breast milk. Breast milk is always dynamic and ever changing. So can you imagine like a broccoli, right? It doesn't expire after baby reaches 1 year old. No, it still has that nutrients and minerals for baby. So for example, after 1 year old, breast milk will change the components and the nutritional value to have more higher in calories to help with baby moving a lot more. So I want to also share with you another point. There's no definite time to wean. Weaning is really your decision, your baby decision. No one should tell you when you should wean. You have the right to own your breastfeeding journey, own your breastfeeding goals. Naturally, this is study session, the natural weaning age ranges 2 to 4. And for other countries, mainly in the rural areas and whatnot, maximum 7 years old, they do have children still breastfeeding at 7 years old. So it's not a competition. It's your journey. You own it. you decide. And just a very quick show of my own express breast milk. So the left side is a little bit what we see, the pearl white breast milk, what we usually see. The right side, you can see a little bit yellowish. So I pumped this the yellowish breast milk when I was when I was a little bit, having some sniffle, some cough. I was going through some flu days. So you can see the antibodies in the express breast milk when I was not feeling so well increased, and it's a little bit yellowish, which means a lot of increase of vitamin A is in the breast milk. So you can see how amazing and how dynamic and ever changing breast milk really is. So next is the hormones. As a breastfeeding mother, there's a lot of hormones that's really, really going on during breastfeeding. But I would love to start with these two hormones, just for you to understand oxytocin, which is the happy hormones, the feel-good hormones, and during lovemaking, oxytocin also releases too. And next is the prolactin hormones, which is the milk-making hormones. And prolactin hormones peaks at night. Is the highest at night. So that's why milk removal at night is very important, especially for the first few months of postpartum. Let's look at the science of how your body makes milk. I love this video. Okay. So as baby stimulates your nipple, same thing as, with a pump, as long as there's nipple stimulation, it sends signals to your brain to release oxytocin, to release prolactin. And you see this little bunch of grapes, what we call the alveoli and the milk in the milk ducts. Your body will take whatever it needs from your blood to make milk. And oxytocin will causes the milk ducts to squeeze the muscle, to squeeze the milk out into the milk ducts out through your nipple opening. So some moms, especially during the first few weeks, they may feel like a tingling sensation when milk starts flowing. This is what we call the letdown reflex. So the oxytocin the oxytocin is doing its work to squeeze the milk out. And some moms do feel that tingling sensation. But however, if you don't feel that tingling sensation, it doesn't mean that you don't have milk. It doesn't mean that. So this is essentially what the science of how your body makes milk. It really takes whatever it gets from your blood to make milk. So it doesn't matter what you eat. You can eat whatever you want, as long as you're not allergic to it. So you can eat whatever you want. Your body is extremely protective of your baby. So it will take only the best nutrition, the best vitamins, whatever it is from your blood to make milk, to make the perfect milk for your baby. I have a story to share. So this is a concert that I used to love to go to concerts. And after I gave birth, this was back in, okay, this is not my photo, but this is a Chinese concert, it's a Singaporean singer. His name is Lin Junjie, if you know him. So I love to go to his concerts. So back in 2018, after the birth of my first child, after 5-6 months, I was in 5-6 months postpartum. I was so excited to go to my concert. 5 months of taking care of a newborn, I just want a few hours out. So I went to the concert, really, really had fun. Oh my God, the feeling of finally you have your own time, you're enjoying the music you like. As I was singing along with him, my breast starts expanding. It starts getting bigger, and I felt so, in a way, to the point it's so uncomfortable. I had to go to the washroom. I had to hand express to comfort, so to kind of soften my breast for a while. So this is just sharing with you oxytocin is in the work. It's really as you are so excited and happy, all these are oxytocin in the work. So can you imagine if you're so tired and you're so stressed out about a lot of other things. Sometimes it does impacts oxytocin, which is why we tell moms, when you give birth, find ways to, find ways to find certain moments of ways to be relaxed. I know it's really difficult, especially for first time mom. I've been there. I've been helping many first time moms for the past year. I know it's difficult, but this is why it's important to communicate what's your breastfeeding goal with your family, with your partner, and to find ways to be relaxed and to work that oxytocin up when you're pumping or when you're breastfeeding, right? So I have this little activity for you, to type in what's relaxing for you to get the oxytocin up. So, but what relaxes you? For example, for me, when I was pumping, for example, I watch my baby videos. Sometimes I listen music. Sometimes when I breastfeed my baby, I just stare in in the blank space just to relax myself. As you key in, I can also share with you. There's this mom who shared with me when she's pumping. She's someone who loves to watch horror shows. So she will watch ghost movies about ghosts and supernatural, and that kick then that got her letdowns happening really fast. So a lot of people have different ways to find to be relaxed. So what's relaxing for you? For example, oh, okay, reading, watching dramas. Yes, I used to watch lots of dramas during breastfeeding. Mm-hmm. I think grounding with both feet on the ground really helps. It sets the stableness that your body feels. Mm-hmm. Getting a neck or shoulder massage. Aha, this is where your partner comes in, right? Being in the moment is so important because as moms or even as women, we tend to like think 10 steps ahead sometimes. Being in the moment is super important. Eating desserts. Yes, I used to drink my bubble tea when I was breastfeeding. That's really yeah, one of my ways to find to be relaxed. Hugging my husband. Oh yeah, that's good. Thanks for sharing. Thank you. All right. Then next is for the pregnant moms. I have this for you. How to establish your breastfeeding journey. So when you give birth to your baby, sometimes you have to put it in your birth plan that you want to have baby on you for the golden hour. So this means that immediately baby is out from your womb. If baby's okay, you're okay. No medical need to separate baby. Have baby on your chest. Just put baby on your chest, uninterrupted for at least 1 hour. And usually, if you leave baby there for 1 hour, you're cuddling with baby, baby's cuddling with you. If you give them enough some time, they will attempt their first latch when they're doing that breast crawl. If the latch doesn't happen, it's okay because baby is with you. Baby still feels safe with mommy, but as long as you allow that to happen. So for my first child, apparently the birth team didn't put baby with me immediately after birth, so they separated baby and myself, even though both of us are perfectly fine. So the nurses was at the side like, oh, your baby oxygen is decreasing. Oh, your baby body temperature is decreasing and whatnot. So I was like, okay, well, like what's next? So then they put baby on me. Then very quickly, my baby oxygen level was fine. Baby's body temperature was fine. So it's very important to, discuss with your gynae. If your gynae, is pro breastfeeding, have a doula even to support you before giving birth. To put this in your birth plan, golden hour is so important. For my recent birth, unexpectedly, I had like 2 hours with him immediately after birth. Time flies so fast. I didn't even know it was 2 hours. So what this happens is baby's on you after the golden hour, then they then can proceed with the routine check, like weighing baby, maybe slightly cleaning baby up. All these can be done after the golden hour. Baby wouldn't lose a lot of weight during that 60 minutes with you. Not to worry on that. Okay. So once you've delivered baby, it's important to also learn the hand expression technique because this will also um, get yourself be comfortable with your breasts. I've known of many women, like they have not even they don't know their breasts. They have not even like, massaged your breast or anything. So this is a time for you to get yourself comfortable, get to know your breast, do practice that hand expression technique. I'm going to show you very quickly on the video here, on the camera here. So it's just like a C shape, 2 to 3 centimeters away from the base of your nipple. Just press against your rib cage, compress and release. So this is the motion. Press against your rib cage, compress and release. C shape. We have milk ducts all around here. You do U shape too. Press against the rib cage, compress and release. So this is the motion. It's not like you have to press down like that. No, it's massaging the milk ducts to get the milk flowing. Okay. This is the hand expression technique. And after birth, in between practicing latching, between I guess you'll be alternating this a lot, latching and hand express, latching and hand express for the first few days of birth, or maybe even for the first few weeks. So practicing latching is also, it's also give baby a chance to get to know mommy's body, get to know mommy's breasts, get to learn how to practice the sucking on mommy's breast and practice various positions too. And this is the time if you can. Sometimes you have to get your partner to request the lactation consultants in the hospital to go visit you. Some days are extremely busy for them. You have to keep requesting. And I will encourage you to keep requesting for the LC to visit you at your hospital bed, practice latching, teach you how to hand express, practice some breast massages at the hospital. After you're back home, if you still feel that you still need help, then yes, get an IBCLC to go to your house to help you with anything that you're struggling with. Next is skin to skin. Skin to skin is something that will calm baby down because baby will be able to smell your smell, be with mommy, hear your voice, hear your breathing. So this is, if you can see my camera, we have this Montgomery gland around our areola, and it secretes protective oils for your nipples and your areola. That oil has the same smell as your amniotic fluid. So baby will use their sense of smell to find your breast, and to them, your breast is home. And this is why skin to skin during latching is very important to get baby, to activate baby's natural feeding reflex, I would say. And your partner also can do skin to skin. And baby loves skin to skin. If the position is comfortable, can feel that warmth, baby love it. Just now I mentioned that hand expression technique. There's lots of hand expression videos out there. You can go search on YouTube. This is just one video that I did like way back before I got pregnant. So I kind of like look different. So you can scan the QR code. It's just me explaining what I did like just now. Okay. So next is I have 8 tips and 1 bonus tip for you to ensure breastfeeding is sustainable for you in the early days. Are you ready for these 8 tips? I know it's a lot. I really, really want to encourage you to read more on the 4th trimester. Many people, myself included back then, don't even know 4th trimester exists. I thought like once I gave birth to baby, the hard job, hard part is done. Then everything should come naturally, right? All breastfeeding should come naturally. Caregiving should come naturally. My maternal instincts will kick in. We're no longer living in the village or in the tribes anymore. All of us are modernized. So really, really read up on the 4th trimester and how to understand actually baby and mommy ideally to still be together. Baby still thinks that mommy is gonna be there. Like mommy has always been there for the past 9 months. So read up on 4th trimester. And after delivery, even if you have C-section wound, you have your, wound that you're trying to recover, it's very important to find a comfortable breastfeeding positions. And after mommy has given birth, it's important to have as much horizontal bed rest as possible. And because if you manage to find a comfortable breastfeeding position, you yourself will feel that, hey, I can do this. I can do breastfeeding. It sounds sustainable for me because I get rest, baby gets milk. Then your confidence as a breastfeeding mom will most likely increase. And like I mentioned just now, find ways to feel relaxed. Work with the oxytocin to release is I know sometimes it can be tough to like how to relax. There's so many things going on. So really find ways to feel relaxed. Sometimes I teach moms breathing techniques. Sometimes I teach mom visualization techniques just to calm their mind down. So this is just some of the ways. Another thing is when many of us modern moms, when we give birth, we still think we can do lots of things, housework, and cover lots of things. I know of some moms they're still like replying to work emails after they give birth, right? So really trying to understand your body will need multiple daytime rests. And day naps are recommended. I know sometimes it's tough, but daytime naps are recommended because if you rest multiple times during the day, your nighttime feeds will be a little bit more manageable. If you don't rest during the day, at night your body's just gonna conk out. You're gonna knock out. And nighttime breastfeeding is still important. Nighttime milk removal is still important. It sets that foundational um, foundation to work with that milk production and milk supply. So daytime nap is really, really recommended. And this can be tough at first, but as you spend more time with baby, over time you will be able to understand certain cues your baby is showing, like hunger cues, fullness cues, which is why when you're in hospital after delivery, if you can room in with your baby, you room in with your baby. This is when you can really, really see how really get to know your baby. Babies are actually they move a lot, they squirm a lot, they have a lot of sounds. So really understanding and picking up these cues actually will make going back home with baby slightly easier. So rooming in your baby is very recommended when you're in hospital. And learning what are the common lactation challenges and how to manage it. I'm not gonna sugarcoat, like, breastfeeding is easy. No, it can be uncomfortable for some moms at the start, but it shouldn't be painful forever, which is why it's important to know what are the common challenges and how to manage it. Later, I'll share with you one common challenge that many moms do go through and how to manage that. And know when to seek help. So this is important. We always say this, but many times we always find that we have to encourage moms to seek help. And sometimes for some moms they may, many of us we will just Google, and Google will give you answer A, B, C, D, and you don't even know what is what, right? So really find to seek trained help in whatever areas that you need. We have a lot of service providers here in Singapore providing different kind of help when you need for postnatal. This is important. Have compassion for yourself. You've given birth, you're lactating, you're taking care of your newborn. And I would say fourth trimester really, really forces you to slow down in your life. This is the time for you to recover, to rest, and be with baby. Really have some compassion for yourself. I think this is something that I always want to emphasize for new moms. And the last one, if you're pregnant, it's important to attend a full-fledged prenatal breastfeeding workshop. This is really, really very brief. This webinar is very brief, but if you can, you attend a full-fledged prenatal workshop that is focused on breastfeeding. If breastfeeding if breastfeeding is your goal that you want to achieve certain ways, attend that workshop with your partner. And your partner is very important because he or she is going to be your pillar of support as you go through many, many changes as a mom. So, going back here, I highlighted this two because I only have time to go through this two today. So I just want to talk about breastfeeding positions now. I want to encourage you to just focus on 3 positions for the first few days. First is what we call the cross cradle hold. This is what many of us see, right? Oh, it's just how many moms has been feeding baby for a long time. Cross cradle hold is good for newborn because newborn is pretty small. You can use your entire one arm to hold baby, and another arm to help with shaping your breast for a good latch. However, my favorite go-to position is laid back. This is my favorite. I always recommend laid back for new moms. And when I go for visits for lactation consultants, I always encourage moms to practice laid back. Since I'm here, let's practice laid back, skin to skin. This is what we call the biological nurturing position. This is the same position as baby do the golden hour with you, some sort, right? You're lying down, baby's on you. This is the same position. And it's a great first position for newborn. And this position allows baby to have more control over the latch. It allows baby to move around, use the arm and leg to kick around, the head to move around to adjust the latch. So some moms, if they there's a few moms that I've helped where they have been doing cross cradle hold a lot. When they switch to laid back, they find that, oh, but how am I going to control baby's latch? so, l- so if we give baby enough time and practice, actually baby can adjust the latch themselves. And next is side lying. It's my second favorite position. Up till now, I'm still using this every night with my baby. So side lying is a great position for better nighttime rest. But of course, note that you have to be very clear on safe sleep protocols. So no loose blankets, making sure baby's well positioned with the nose with clear airway. And side lying, something I want to call this is what we call the cuddle curl for safe sleep. So mommy's arm is bent, mommy's knees are bent. This is a natural protective position for your baby. Even if you dozed off, even if you want to roll over, you cannot because your bent elbow and your bent knee is stopping you from rolling over. This is what we call the cuddle curl. Go to YouTube, research these three positions, practice these three positions as much as you can. My favorite, if you can, you just do lay back. If you can, this is the number one thing. And understanding infant cues. You know, our babies, they're not robots. They cannot be feeding same amount every single feed, and they don't feed at the same time every single day. Appetites fluctuates, and feeding for them is not only for food, it's also for love and comfort. It's that suckling reflex gives them a lot, soothes them a lot. So feeding on demand looks like this. Sometimes baby feeds longer or more, sometimes baby feeds less, sometimes babies just want to have a little drink to quench a thirst, especially in Singapore where it's so hot and humid here, right? And sometimes baby just want to be close with you, especially during cluster feeding. During, what we call the witching hour, usually it happens late afternoon, evening time. This is when baby just really, really want to be close to you and kind of like be just, some moms explain to me like, oh, baby just kept latching nonstop for 3 hours. So this is what cluster feeding typically looks like. And yeah, to understand baby cues. So baby do not feed like clockwork. They feed on demand. And they have never felt hunger before. So now this is the time that to be responsive to your baby. If baby wants to drink, we let baby drink, especially babies and especially newborns, they get their weight gain and calories through frequent drinking. Okay, next is engorgement. You can screenshot this if you want. Many moms during the first 4 days, 5 days onwards, they do go through a physiological engorgement. This is when the milk starts transiting into mature milk. And this is when their breast gets fuller, gets heavier. So sometimes it's not only like, this engorgement when it happens, it doesn't mean that you have a breast full of milk. It doesn't necessarily mean that. It may mean that your breast may have the excess fluid that's being stored in there that you sometimes need to do that lymphatic drainage to drain it out first to help with a smoother milk flow. So go to YouTube, search lymphatic drainage massage for breastfeeding. And these are ways to manage engorgement. And cold compress is going to be your best friend for engorgement or any breast pain. Okay. If you're still struggling after one day is like a lot, right? 24 hours. If you're struggling for 24 hours, please still get an appointment with an IBCLC. Get help from there. And next, what is most important to get like trained lactation help? If you have issues with milk supply, baby is not gaining weight, painful latch. You know, a latch shouldn't be painful. It can be uncomfortable for the first 30 seconds, but it shouldn't be painful. I know of some moms, they tolerated painful latch for like, throughout the baby's latching duration. So no, don't tolerate that painful latch. Something may be going on in there. Get help with that. So painful pumping, finding ways to breastfeeding to comfortable breastfeeding positions. If you are struggling with that, get help to help with that. Breastfeed refusal, bottle refusals, right? And really, really just want to emphasize that breastfeeding is actually a small part of your entire motherhood journey. I'm not downplaying breastfeeding. It's just that because breastfeeding is such a small part, it's important to get help early so you can really enjoy and get quality time and create quality memories with breastfeeding. Some moms I know that they may not know how to get help initially, and they stop breastfeeding earlier. They wean off earlier than they would expect, and sometimes the trauma follows with them, like, oh, they have that regret with weaning off too early and whatnot. So know that even though it's a small part, but you have the power to make it a pleasant experience for both you, your baby, and your family.
A lady asked, how do you latch baby? She says, I tried, but always end up with sore, cracked, and bleeding nipples. I know this is a big question. Okay, I know you cover this, and a lot of this is face to face, and you need to kind of be there. But are there any things that you can say, here and now that someone could take away and try?
Mm-hmm. So that is one sign that baby is not getting that deep latch, because you have that sore, cracked, bleeding nipples. I'm so sorry that you're going through this, but this is just one sign that baby is not getting that deep latch. Then it really depends on what positions have you tried. So I would always encourage moms to try the laid back, because laid back with baby on you, with gravity working in your advantage, and baby able to adjust the latch. Sometimes most of the time, baby do get deep latch from that laid back. And also, most importantly, sometimes depending on the different breast shape and anatomy, sometimes even if the laid back, um it's important to even support your elbow with a pillow so you won't feel so much strain on your shoulder and your arm. If you find that position is comfortable for you, then you won't even need to bother your comfort anymore. You'll be focusing on baby, making sure baby is comfortable, to have that deep latch as much as possible. If you're doing the cradle hold, which I think many moms do the cradle hold, then it's important to make sure tummy to tummy. Your baby tummy you must turn your entire. Okay, let me get my little baby doll up here. I have my baby doll here. So making sure baby's entire body to turn and tummy face your tummy. This is the number one rule if you're doing that cradle hold. If you want to do that cradle hold, this is the number one rule. Tummy to tummy. And if you can see here, baby's head is very far up to my breast. So if you can lower baby down, push baby to the other side of your body, so baby can look up to latch. So can you imagine if you drink water? We don't drink water like this, right? We elongate our neck to drink water, to swallow easier, and to have the chin touching the breast tissue to latch deeply. But this is the cradle hold. Cradle hold, there's like lots of steps and a lot of maternal assistance. If you do practice on that laid back position.
Thank you, Eliza. I hope that's helped the lady at home. Do reach out if we can help with anything in particular. What about breastfeeding both first and second child at the same time? Does the milk change for each child? I love these questions.
This is the tandem feeding, I would think,
Yeah.
right? Your first child. Okay. So when you're pregnant, the taste of breast milk may change. And your second child, most of the time, yes, sorry, your first child, yeah, sorry. Your first child will know there's a change of taste in your breast milk. Sometimes they may hold off for a while. Sometimes after they're holding off for a while, they will go back and latch, right? But most of the time it is still beneficial for your child, even though the milk change is essentially just a little bit. So if you're pregnant and if you're latching your older child, the taste of the milk change, it is just colostrum going into a little bit mix of colostrum, and colostrum we know that it's a little bit salty. And yes, the milk does change, but it doesn't mean that you cannot continue breastfeeding. You still can, and I would highly encourage for you to still continue breastfeeding, especially if your pregnancy is stable.
Brilliant. I love it when I hear about mums tandem feeding, when they can do it, sustainably. It's such a special moment. Someone asked, how often do we change sides for latching during a single session? For example, is it every 20 minutes? And some mums have said that they leak from the other breast while feeding. Should we pump, collect from that leaking side while latching? Finally, do we wake baby to feed? And if they're sleeping too long, or let them continue sleeping till they are hungry and wake up naturally? So the first question there was, how many times do we switch sides? And how often do we switch sides?
Okay, I'm going to say something very unconventional here, but ditch away the 15 minutes each side. Ditch it away. We're not going to follow the clock. We're going to look at baby. Allow baby to latch on one side, as much as possible. Think about it. We want baby to have the appetizer, the main course, and the dessert on one breast, so baby can get most of the fatty and creamy milk towards the end of the feed. And then offer the second side as a bonus dessert. If baby gets it, if baby wants to latch, perfect. If doesn't, it's okay. You can continue. You can offer the second side the next feed.
Great. I love that, and I hope that helps the mum that answered the question. Should they collect or pump milk from the leaking side that they're not latching on?
Well, your latching baby is normal for sometimes to leak on the other side. There's no need for you to collect at all. You can just put pressure. So can you imagine when you're bleeding, you just put pressure like this, you just put pressure, it will stop. If you want to collect, I would suggest to maybe hold a cup there to collect. Otherwise, if for me, I would discourage the use of that silicone collector, because it's that suction there, right? It's just gonna tell your body that you have another baby to make milk for. It may create oversupply and all the other stuff. So the easiest way, just put pressure. After a while, it will stop. Then you don't need to manage with lots of things.
Great top tip. I love it. And do we need to wake baby to feed, or do we let them wake naturally?
For newborns, yes, babies should be feeding. I know we say this 3-hourly a lot, but babies should be feeding maximum 3-hourly. For newborns, especially newborns with jaundice, they're exceptionally sleepy babies. Jaundice are exceptionally sleepy, so you do have to wake your newborn up to feed. Once as baby eases out of the newborn stage with no weight gain concerns, everything, the growth indicators looking fine, then it's okay to let baby sleep longer stretches at night.
Fabulous. Thank you. And someone has said, how soon should we start using a breast pump? It seems a lot of mums in Singapore talk about wanting to start pumping straight away, but other resources online suggest waiting 4 to 6 weeks. What's the reason for the difference?
I get this a lot. I understand. So there's this question my friend recently asked me. Are you pumping? Now I told my friend, no, I'm latching baby, and she was absolutely shocked. Huh? Why are you not pumping? I thought pumping is a must. So if latching is breastfeeding is going well, there's no need to pump so early. Just focus on latching, focus on being with baby. Many moms, if they're going back to work, you can set aside 1 to 3 weeks in advance to start pumping at least once a day, just to create like a little stash, and also just to get to know your pump. When you're going back to work, your pump is like your work baby. So yes, there's no need to pump if breastfeeding is going well. If you're going back to work, set aside 1 to 3 weeks.
Great advice. And this one I hear a lot as well. Why does my baby latch for a few seconds and start to release and then struggle?
So do you know that there are over 70 reflexes in the baby? So if first I want to understand. So first you can look into the positioning. Sometimes as baby grows longer, their legs may be dangling down. And if their legs are dangling, some babies, they're fine. They're like, oh, okay, fine with the dangling leg. But some babies, they find that they may fall. You know, the sense of fall, the sense of like almost falling is there. So they may be struggling with the positioning and whatnot. So look into making sure that baby entire body is well supported and not struggling with the positioning. And if that's fine, then you look into the latch. Is baby like this, tucking the chin in? If it is so, move position baby, so baby will be like elongate the neck to latch, so it's easier for baby to swallow. And is baby like for example wearing mittens or socks? Because baby during feeding they use a lot of their hands and legs movement. They use a lot to feel around. So sometimes they're struggling because they may feel like, you know, they can't feel mummy's body and whatnot. So remove mittens and socks. If you can do skin to skin during latching. And then the last one is understanding, is it baby latching, popping on and off the breast? Is it because of the flow? Sometimes it's maybe the fast flow that baby is struggling to cope with the fast flow, or sometimes baby may be frustrated over a slower flow than usual. So if you find that baby is maybe fasting because of that slow flow, you just do like gentle breast compressions during latching to just help with that milk flow, so to keep baby stay latched as long as possible. If you still struggle, please don't feel like you need to struggle this alone. Do get help for an IBCLC to assess what's going on with that latching position. Why is baby popping on out of the breast?
Thank you. Again, really, really invaluable advice, because I know a lot of mums kind of have their babies, you know, it feels awkward. They feel like they're not latching on and off, and they're looking for solutions. So it's nice to have a list of things to try at home. Is it necessary to supplement? You know, there are some pretty popular brands out there. There are also, you know, the less popular, you know, simple versions you can get from the pharmacies. Do you think we need to be taking supplements when we're breastfeeding?
So going back to the base to how our body works. The more milk you remove from your breast, I mean, if you remove milk from your breast frequently, you are signaling to your body to make more milk. So you can eat whatever you want, you can drink whatever you want, but if you're not removing milk frequently and effectively, your body is gonna get the signal to make the milk according to that, you know, supply and demand. I would say it's not necessary to supplement. If you want, you can go ahead, but I would say let's look into how are you feeding your baby? How is your milk removal is like? How often are you removing milk? Or for some moms, I will go really into in depth. Like, is there any other medical history that you have? Certain moms with hormonal diseases may have milk supply impacted, but do get help from an IBCLC to really run through their past medical history if prolonged low milk supply is an issue. But supplements is really optional. It's not needed.
Was if you don't feed on both breasts during a feeding session, should you pump on the breast that you haven't fed on?
Okay, so because as for newborns, they feed frequently. They don't really exactly feed every 3 hourly. So there is no need to pump on the other side if baby didn't latch on the other side. For the next round, just offer the other side for baby to latch. However, please monitor in between feeds. Please monitor your breast fullness and discomfort. If it's full and uncomfortable, you can hand express or do a quick pump to comfort, because we don't want that to escalate to like blocked ducts, engorgement, mastitis. So monitor that breast fullness there.
Eliza, someone has asked, how and when will we know if we can breastfeed? Is it something that you kind of know before you give birth, or is it only something that you know after delivery?
If we can breastfeed.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So you can breastfeed immediately after you deliver a baby. Mother Nature created us this way. However, I always say breastfeeding is a natural act, but for moms in this era, it is a learned skill. So you need to get help if you are struggling with breastfeeding, but and then anatomically, we can breastfeed immediately after we deliver.
Are there any signs during pregnancy that tell us that, for example, we have milk ready to feed baby with, or colostrum ready? Are there any signs that we can look for when we're pregnant?
Um, Unfortunately, there's no like a confirmed sign because the pregnancy hormones are suppressing the prolactin hormone. It's suppressing to get the pregnancy going. Once the placenta, the baby is out from your body, the pregnancy hormone crashes down and the prolactin level increases. So no matter what you do during pregnancy, you're not going to increase the prolactin at all. So I would say sit back and relax during pregnancy, go and learn about breastfeeding, learn about parenting a newborn, and then you'll be ready to try breastfeeding after baby is delivered with the knowledge that you have as you learn during pregnancy.
That's great advice. Thank you. And I know it's difficult for mums when they're pregnant, wondering, how is this going to work? Am I going to be good at it? Am I going to find it easy? Looking around, seeing other people's journeys. But the one thing I would really ask people to remember is what Eliza was saying right at the start of this, which is it's your journey. It's not a competition. It's not about what other people can do. It's not about, even what you can do. It's about what you want to do, and working, based on your journey and your journey alone, and not comparing yourself to others out there. I do urge people to get in contact with Eliza about those workshops, the pregnant mums and the new mums. I can't tell you how often I work with clients that really don't have any knowledge about how breastfeeding works, about how lactation works, about how their body works. And if you just have just a tiny bit of knowledge that you can get from these workshops, it really does set you up for the start of that journey being one that you can start to enjoy. And like Eliza said, it's actually quite a short period of time. And it's only a small part of your motherhood and your parenthood journey. So engaging with someone and learning as much as you can so that you can really enjoy it, I think is absolutely key. Huge thank you to Eliza. And
thank you.
I look forward to seeing you all again soon.
Bye.